Alright, today's video should be pretty short. I'm just going to talk about a hand pump I picked up. I believe it's a Vevor. This pump right here. I picked this up for about 50 bucks. I went back and that was a couple weeks ago. Now they're like 70. Okay. This is a little water filter thing. This wire I put on it, it's just from one of my TIG wires that I use. Whoa. I've been doing some 3D printing for a PVC backdrop. I'm going to use it in my shows. Alright, it's got these feet. Pretty stable. Works real well. When I bought it, it leaked like a sieve. And I had to do some work on it. I paid about 50 bucks for it. I expected to do that. You can get $200 ones, $250 ones, and supposedly you don't have to do that with, but it cost me probably all of $10 or $15 to get this working. It leaked a little bit. I made some adjustments. It leaked more. So I tightened all the joints up. Made sure that's a bleed valve. Very important to remember that. Make sure it wasn't leaking. This comes with a, and I keep it in there to keep dust out of it, little plug. That's what you test it with. You put this in here and pump it up. It's going to build up pressure if it's not leaking. Like I said, mine was leaking. Stuck this into some water. After pumping it a few times, I lifted this up, put this in the water, pushed it down. Excuse me, I'm going to edit this out. It's not there. Maybe I won't edit it out. Just sitting up a little bit. Okay. Like I said, I put this in water and it was leaking from this back end, just blowing air out massively. Some people will use Teflon tape to wrap around all the threads. I didn't do that. The other ones seemed to be holding. I went to Ace. I believe it was in the metric section. The store I go to divides up its O-rings in non-metric and metric, and they put them in two different locations. I don't know why. But I found an O-ring that was the same dimensions, but thicker. The O-ring was thicker. Stuck that in there, tightened it down. Works like a charm now. I've got a Seneca Aspen I've used on it. Used this on it, and it's a little workout. But it works. And then I top it off with the built-in pump. I partially filled a Gauntlet 30. That's going to be a bear. And I'm planning on going to the range Thursday. I will start pumping it up Tuesday and Wednesday. And doing it in increments so that I don't burn the pump up. This gets hot when it's being used. And you don't want to overheat it. But I'll just take my time filling it up. Not going to knock myself out. And then I'll give you a range report. Now, the important thing to remember, two important things to remember. This did not come with any silicone oil. I had to buy it. You can get that on eBay, not eBay, I keep saying eBay. My last video I said I got this from eBay. I didn't. I got it from Amazon. I got the oil from Amazon. And I lubed it up real good because it gets hot. I don't want it to burn up. Now, let me get this up here without tearing it up. Right here is the release valve. When you hook it up to your gun with, I think it's called the Foster fitting. Close this, go to the owner's manual and see what condition your gun has to be in to fill it up. My Seneca, I can just open up the charging handle to the pump, put the adapter in there and a hole for it, connect this and start pumping, and it does fine. The Gauntlet will just bleed air out unless you cock it. It's got to be cocked. So read your instructions about how you got to fill it up with the whatever you're using. When you're done, be sure to bleed this off. You go trying to pull that off, and if it comes off, you're going to be shocked about the noise, the violence of this flipping around. So always bleed it off on the back and then pull this off. I'm thinking of getting a bigger water trap for it, but like I said, I paid 50 bucks. The valve I can see right here, or this gauge, is made in Japan, but it took me about an hour to get it working, and that includes going to Ace Hardware to pick up the parts. Probably another $10, and I've used it several times and it works great. My son was thinking about getting a Hassan, it's a pistol. I can't remember the name of it, but it's got 2 tanks on it. One below the other one. And he was thinking he wanted it, but he didn't want to mess with air tanks and stuff. And he's seen me use this, and he's pumped on it, and he's going to go ahead and get that pistol because it's got a smaller fill tank, kind of like the Aspen Seneca does. I think it's actually bigger than that, but not as big as the Gauntlet. So he'll have a way to fill it. Gives you a workout, gives you exercise. But like I said, I look back at my orders, and this cost me about 50 bucks. Now they're like 69, 99, 70 bucks. So the prices went up. You will have to do some work on it when you get it, from what I understand. You know, I had to, and there's other reviewers out there that had to fix the leak. Now, you can use the Teflon tape, or you can do what I did with the O-rings, but it's not that difficult. You just take it apart, put tape on it or new O-rings, and seal it back up and try it. And this was the only part that leaked real bad. So now it's working. And to say again, bleed valve, open it up before you take it off your pellet gun or pellet rifle, because you want that pressure released in this tube to be empty. And don't be pumping like a madman, or you'll overheat this thing and burn it up. You don't want to do that. But anyway, yeah, it's worth the money. I've been real happy with it. A little bit frustrated when I first got it in and the air was leaking out so bad. But it was an easy fix, and I've used it several times. No problem. You just have to remember to bleed the valve, the air off when you take it off the PCP. Oh, can't talk today. Off the rifle, pellet rifle, and don't overheat it. I know I said that a couple times, but that's the big killer of these pumps, is people overheating them. And just know it's going to take time to fill up the big tanks, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than a compressor, which I will eventually have a compressor. I think I'm going to get one over the tanks, because I'm not that big on having a big tank sitting around under all that pressure. But that's just me. But anyway, worth the money. Recommend it. And got it off of Amazon. And it was a Vevor, I think is how it's pronounced. But anyway, thanks for watching.